Good morning, friends. My name is Jen, and on behalf of PiYoga and Studio, I welcome you to class. Our practice this morning will be a Pilates yoga combination. We will use the Pilates movements to strengthen and lengthen through the body, moving a little bit slower sometimes than what I typically guide for practice. So we'll focus more on some static holds and just really focusing our energy on that body part that we're working. And then in between, we will do a vinyasa flow. You will recognize the vinyasa flow. It will be the same flow each time, but we'll maybe add a movement or two on to expand and build upon. So that is where we're headed. Glad to have you all with us this morning. And let's go ahead and begin our practice in child's pose today. So take your time arriving. Maybe starting with a nice wide knee child's pose position. So bringing the knees toward the edges of your mat. And take your time working your way down to the earth. We're looking to find that connection with the forehead to the earth, or maybe a block if you have it, or a book. Sometimes as we start our practice, you might be hanging on to some tightness in the lower back, which makes it difficult to find that connection. And allowing some movement in the body, maybe the hips sway side to side as you settle in. Eventually landing with the arms in front of the body, maybe a bend in the elbow, maybe the arms are outstretched. And with those glutes coming down toward the heels as we extend and lengthen through the lower back. With the eyes closed, softening the tops of the shoulders. And just noticing what's going on in your head as you start your practice. Seems that each day during these times feels a little bit different. Maybe feeling more adjusted to the new normal some days and feeling uneasy the next day. Sometimes when our response to unexpected news or startling news is not the same as that of the people around us, we may feel driven by a desire to dismiss those feelings as irrational or wrong. But reactions themselves are never right or wrong. The forces that sculpt the patterns that can dictate our development are not the same forces that shape the development of our family, friends, neighbors. There's no reason to believe or expect that one person's reaction to an event is any more valid than the others. How we choose to respond to the constant changes taking place in our world is a product of our history, a testament to our individuality, and perhaps part of a healing process that allows us to address key events in our past in a context that allows us to grasp the present. Just taking note of where your mind and heart are today with everything going on in our world, in our community, in the four walls of your home. And accepting those feelings for what they are today. Accepting those feelings by finding more space in the breath. Perhaps using the exhales to release anything that's troubling you or that you're hanging on to in your mind. Releasing that negative energy or thoughts that aren't serving you back down into the earth. Imagining new life, new energy, and new lightness with each inhale. And just for the next hour, let's use that breath, that prana or life energy to start over, hit the reset button, accept where we are, and be ready to move forward. Taking an inhale through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Open the mouth, exhale it out. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Again, as you inhale, imagine the breath traveling all the way up the spine to lengthen. Pause at the top. Exhale, open the mouth, find that release. Just one more breath together here. Inhale. The belly expands, spine lengthens. Exhale, release. Maybe the glutes come a little closer to the heels, softening the body. Start to work your way up to all fours. Take your time. Just bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. Maybe swaying the hips side to side. Tucking the chin to the chest to lengthen the muscles in the back of the neck. And then coming together to find that neutral spine. Allow the breath to float with the body through a few rounds of cat-cow. On our exhale, the spine lifts to the sky. Chin tucks toward the chest, hip bones pull up toward the lower rib cage. On the inhale, belly drops, gaze comes up. Exhale, tuck the chin to the chest, lift through the spine. And as you breathe and move through cat-cow, doing so with your breath. Maybe your breath is a little longer or a little shorter. Not worrying about the cadence, the pace, just really feeling the breath move through the body, creating some space in the spine. And the next time that spine comes up to lift in that cat posture, let's pause and hold, tucking the chin to the chest even more, dropping the crown toward the earth, lower rib cage squeezing in with energy. Press through the tops of the toes and lift the knees up off the earth, just a couple of inches. Lifting the spine even higher, press the palms into the earth here. And release the knees, take your inhale, open the heart. Exhale, lift. This time let's curl the toes, lift the knees. Let's find that nice flat spine. So reaching the crown of the head toward the wall in front of you. Long line from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Inhale. Exhale to hold. And on your inhale, tuck the chin to the chest. Start to lift the hip bones to the sky. And we'll fall back into our down dog. Walking it out here. Just gently working those heels toward the earth. Taking as much bend in those legs as you need to. Maybe lifting both heels, dropping them to the right corner of the mat. Big bend into the right leg. Ground down through the pinky edge of the left foot. Feeling that stretch all the way up the outside of the leg. Coming back through center, lift the heels. Heels swivel to the left. Taking that big bend in the left leg, ground down through the pinky edge of the right foot. Stretching up from the heel all the way through the hip, softening the IT band. And coming back to center. Release the heels as we settle into down dog here. Let's find some stillness for a couple of breaths. Softening the chest back toward the thighs. Letting the head hang heavy, the crown of the head straight down to the earth. And then finding that sensation of lifting the hip bones toward the sky just a little more, softening the backs of the legs. Inhale. Exhale. Bend the knees, bend the elbows. We'll tiptoe all the way to the top of the mat, finding your forward fold. Take an inhale to a halfway lift. Reach through the crown, fingertips to the shin bones. Exhale to fold. Grounding down through the feet, big circle sweep all the way up. And on your exhale, swan dive back down, leading with the heart, forward fold. Again, inhale halfway. Exhale to fold. Ground down, big circle sweep up. Reach through the fingertips, getting tall here. And lead with the heart. Hands come behind the body, swan dive down. Inhale halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, take that step back to your plank. You can lower the knees here or stay lifted. We'll lower halfway down, elbows squeezed into the body. Pull up, lift the chest, heart opens. And on your exhale, down dog. One more time, let's float forward to plank or supported plank with the knees down. Shoulders come just in front of the fingertips, elbows hug in tight, lower halfway. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, hips lifted, down dog. Gently release the knees down to the earth, coming back to all fours here. And we'll reach the left heel toward the wall behind you. Right fingertips reach forward, coming into spinal balance. So we're going to hold here in spinal balance for a moment, really establishing that strong base and establishing our alignments. So gaze is down at the mat. As you gaze toward that left arm, rotate the inner elbow crease toward the center of your mat. And then reaching back through the heel with energy, reaching forward with the fingertips. And of course, lifting the navel up toward the spine, super supported here. We'll tap the toes, tap the fingers to the earth, tap, squeeze and lift back to center. Tap and lift, tap and lift. 3, 2, and 1. Open 45 degrees. So now that heel is reaching toward the corner of the room, fingertips are reaching toward the corner. Again, pause and hold. Find that new line of energy now reaching toward the corners, feeling a little bit of heat building in the left side of the body. Again, we'll tap and lift, and lift. Using those glutes to lift the leg up. Lift for 3, 2, and 1. Sweep back to center here. Release the right hand. We'll bend that left leg to a 45 or 90 degree angle. And we're going to start pressing up through the heel. So as we press up, clearly focusing on some energy in the glutes here, but also really thinking about that lift of the belly. Everything stays super strong and hugged in through the front of the body here. Lifting the heart up through the shoulder blades, lifting through the upper part of the spine. We'll press up for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold strong right here, opening the hip and close. So we're just externally rotating the femur in the socket, open and close. You will feel this right away in the glutes, super slow and controlled. Rotate, lift the outer edge of the knee. As you come back to center, try to keep that knee lifted back up so it's parallel to the earth. Keep lifting and twisting here. For 6, 5, it's just a little rotation. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to center. Left knee comes behind the right, tap behind, lift and press back up through the heel. Tap behind, press back up. As you continue moving here, notice if you're finding that extension of the spine. In other words, is your spine dipping down and opening as you kick the leg up? We'd like to keep that neutral spine so there's no movement from the hip bones to the shoulders. All of that work is in the hip, the hamstring, the glutes. 3 more. We'll cross, really press through the heel and lift. Cross and press. Cross and press. Back to center, little pulses. Pulse up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay lifted, curl the right toes, press up, one-legged down dog. Now extending the left leg long, reaching through the toes. Circle that ankle. And we're going to float right back forward, coming into side plank. Right hand comes underneath the face. You can release the left leg on top of the right. You can stair step here, kind of making this ladder, or of course, always an option to release that right knee directly under the hip for a little more support. We're going to sweep right into that extended side angle pose to find that stretch. So that energy line now is from the pinky edge of the left foot if you're grounded, or from whichever foot is grounded, all the way to the fingertips. Big stretch for the side of the body. Breathing. Holding right here or coming with me to flow. We'll bend the knees, bring the bum toward the heels, and then shoot forward. Inhale back, shoot forward. Let's bend the elbow with the knees to really reach and lengthen here. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold here, take the left hand to the hip, just a little dip down, squeeze lift. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rotate back to center, release the knees, take a couple of breaths through cat-cow. Release the spine. We'll set up right away for the other side of the body. And coming back to center here. Right heel reaches back, left fingertips reach forward. We will pause here again for a moment in spinal balance to really take some time and put some energy into our alignment. So as you gaze down, that inner elbow crease is facing the center. Long extension through the back heel, toes pointed toward the earth. Fingertips reaching forward. Neck is neutral as we gaze down to the top of the mat. Squeezing that right glute to keep that leg lifted and strong. And then finally wrapping all the muscles around the rib cage, super strong through the core. We'll come to that tap. Fingers and toes tap and lift and tap and lift. Just 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold, lift back up, opening to the corners of the room about 45 degrees. Again, we'll hold right here. Find that stability working in this new plane. Really don't underestimate what your core can do for you here. Really activate, lengthen, and strengthen. And again, we'll tap fingers and toes and squeeze to lift. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sweep back to center. Left hand comes back underneath the shoulder. We'll bend that right leg now. Start to press through the heel. Slow and controlled first. Turn this way maybe so you can see a little better. So just a big press up through the heel. Keep the neck nice and long. We'll keep pressing up here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay lifted right here. Open and rotate. Femur rotates in the socket. Just open and close. So in a perfect world, that thigh bone, that long, heavy bone stays parallel, and we're just rotating the femur in the socket to lift. Again, you should feel that heat and that energy in the glute medius right away. So just focusing on that rotation. We'll take 6 more here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Center that knee, right knee taps behind the left. Lift and press through the heel. Tap behind and lift. Tap behind and lift. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Going right into that pulse. Press and press. So reconnect here. One more time. Excuse me. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release that right knee, curl the toes, lift the hips, down dog, walk it out. Again, taking those big bends into the knees, one and then the other. Coming into our first flow here, just kind of letting everything move, lengthening out. On your next inhale, right toes will sweep up. Hips stay square to the earth. Reach through the heel. Let's point flex the toes here. Working that left heel toward the earth. Pressing down through the palms. Inhale, reach through the toes. On the exhale, bring the right knee to the right elbow. Float forward into your plank. We're holding here. Squeeze and lift up through the spine for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to the chest, round the spine, big step all the way through. If you have blocks, maybe grab them here. Releasing the back knee, floating up into Anjaneyasana. Maybe bringing the arms up to open the heart. We'll take a little extra time on this first flow. This left hip is pulling forward to open and lengthen through the hip flexor. Heart is leading, so the tops of the shoulders are soft, shoulder blades squeeze back. Inhale. On the exhale, right leg starts to lengthen as the hip pulls back. Knee comes toward the nose, working into the hamstring. Taking a couple of breaths here on the first round. Again, inhale, float forward. Sweep up. This time, curl the back toes. Lift the knee, sweep up into your warrior lunge. So stacking the shoulders right above the hips. That left hamstring lifted up to the sky as the heel drives toward the wall behind you. If it's not comfortable for your neck to have your arms reached up, cactus the arms, take a little heart opener here as well. In fact, let's all go there. Let's take an inhale, lift up just a bit. Exhale, open the heart, let the heart shine forward. Inhale to lift. On our exhale, we'll hinge forward, spine stays long. Left hand plants next to the right foot. Right fingertips sweep up here to twist. So still pressing that left heel toward the back wall. Hamstring is lifted. Grounding down through the right foot, the balls of the left. Start to rotate up. So staying in that twist, release the left fingertips up, reaching the left fingertips into the front and the right to the back. Take an inhale. Exhale, sweep back up your warrior lunge and float all the way down. Plant the hands, right foot steps back. Rolling through your chaturanga or meeting in down dog. Rolling forward, lower halfway, elbows in. Heart shines up and through. Tucking the chin to the chest, hips rise. Inhaling, left toe sweep up. Exhale, float forward. Left knee squeezes to that left elbow. So really lifting up, almost thinking about bringing that knee toward the armpit. Thoracic and cervical spine super lifted. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale. Knee comes to chest as we come all the way through, stepping forward, sweeping up, Anjaneyasana. Back leg releases, maybe grab those blocks. Fingertips up to the sky as we guide that right hip bone forward, softening the hip flexor. Soften the face. One more inhale. Exhale as the fingertips come to the earth or the block. Left hip pulls back, nose toward the knee. Just noticing what you're feeling in those hamstrings. Hopefully as we flow, you'll feel increasing softness as we practice. Floating forward again. Let's curl the back toes, lift the knees, sweep the arms up to your warrior lunge. And exhale, sink in and ground down. Shoulders stacked above the hips. Energy shooting through that back heel, staying lifted through the hamstring. Let's inhale, lift up just a little bit. On the exhale, cactus the arms, open the heart. Inhale. Exhale, long spine, hinge forward. Right hand plants to the inside of that left foot. Left fingertips reach up into your twist. Maintaining that lift through the hamstring and the back leg. Super supported here. Ground down through the feet. Get that strong base. And then start to windmill the arms, float up into that twist lunge. Softening the back shoulder. It's okay if that arm isn't perfectly straight behind you. Just finding some space. Sweeping back up to warrior lunge on your inhale. Exhale, come down. This time, let's step the right foot forward to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. And exhale to fold. Hips stay low, sweep the fingertips up, coming into your first chair. Biceps hugging the ears. Starting to feel that heaviness and that sense of weight in the heels, maybe lifting all 10 toes up off the earth. As we soften the tops of the shoulders even more, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands come to heart center. Let's come up onto the toes, lifting the heels. Slowly start to lower down to the earth. And then take a seat if you need your hands to take that soft landing. Go for it there. So from here, we'll come to some seated work. Let's start. Go ahead and scooch the bum back so the legs are lengthened in front of you. We'll start with a little twist before we work. So let's take the bottom of the left foot to the earth just inside the right knee. And let's take a twist. So the right hand comes to the outside of the left knee. The left arm becomes the second spine to the body. So connecting that left arm to the back of the body. And as you press the heel of the hand into the earth, feeling that lift in the spine, and then taking the gaze over the left shoulder. We'll take 2 super focused breaths here. So each inhale, imagine the air, the breath traveling up the spine, creating space between each vertebra. Each exhale, allowing you to twist in just a little bit more, rotate out. One more time, inhale, crown of the head lifting, neck gets longer. Exhale, rotate. Gently coming back to center. We'll hug the knee to the chest, rolling all the way down to the back here. Ground down through the right heel. And as we come down, allow that right heel to lift up. Taking the hands, actually let's leave the hands on top of the shin for now. Really pull that knee toward the chest. Reaching through the right toes, squeezing that left knee to the chest. What happens in the body here if you remove the hands? Using the energy to strengthen the core to keep that knee hugged in. One more time, take the hands to the shins, really squeeze and tuck in, tucking the chin to the chest. Think about compressing all the organs in the belly. Again, releasing the hands, let it float. Can you hold that knee right where it is? For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the head and shoulders for a moment. Leave the legs exactly where they are. Taking the hands behind the base of the skull, interlacing the fingers. Let's lift up, tucking the chin to the chest, and then start to rotate through the spine, bringing the right elbow toward the left knee. We'll pause and hold right here. So feeling that energy and the heat in the left side of the body. Squeeze. Can we lift the elbow just a little more? And we'll lift the right leg up and down, reaching through the toes for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Float the shoulders back to center, legs stay the same. Now the elbows, the outer edges of the elbows are coming toward the earth again. This time as that right leg comes up, reach with the left toes. And left knee pulls back in, right leg comes forward. Keep flowing here. So neck is long. We're really just using the hands on the fingertips as a hammock for the head, just to support the neck a little bit. So outer edges of the elbows stay nice and wide. 2, and 1. Come back to that tabletop with the left leg, reach to the toes, release the grip behind the neck, palms come to the earth. We're gonna pulse the arms down, palms pulse to the earth. Maybe taking that Pilates 100 breath, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last one, exhale. All right, release everything down. Continue to reach through the right toes, right heel stays lifted. Go ahead and release that left foot down, right leg will come up a little bit. We're gonna take a half teaser here. So take your fingertips up above the head, inhale. Exhale, float forward and lift here. Slowly lower down, curving through the spine, reconnecting the vertebrae one at a time. And exhale, lift up. Slow roll down. Last one. And lift. Slow roll down. Go ahead and release that left foot again. Hands come to the base of the skull, side to side in your bicycle. Knee toward the elbow. Lifting the shoulders up off the earth as much as you can, bringing the elbows closer to the knee. 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll end with that right knee into the chest. Go ahead and put the hands on top of that right shin. Float forward, coming right back to that seated position. If we did this right, we should have the opposite leg in front of the body ready for that twist. Left hand coming to the outside of the right knee. Take that right arm as your second spine. Pressing the hand into the earth right behind you. You should feel the arm up next to your body. And again, 2 focused breaths. Inhaling, space between the vertebrae. Exhale to twist. Soft gaze over the shoulder as we inhale one more time. Exhale, drop into that rotation. Slowly coming back to center. Hug that right knee to the chest. We're coming all the way back down, roll down. Left heel lifts up off the earth. Go ahead and let the head and shoulders come down here for a moment. Let's take that big squeeze. Right knee squeezes in. We're going to take that first release here. So releasing the hands, trying to keep that knee pulled in. Use the core, use the muscles in the hips. Release the hands, hold here. Lifting the head and shoulders off the earth if you'd like. Again, let's take the hands back on the top of the shin, pull in one more time. Really reaching through that lengthened leg, feeling that stretch through the front of the leg. And when you're ready, release your grip. Hold right there for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release down. Fingertips to the base of the skull. Take that right leg into tabletop. And start to lift the head and the shoulders. Left elbow come to the outside of the right knee. Squeeze here and twist. Active through the right side of the body. Maybe lifting that left shoulder just a little bit more. Three, 2, 1. Left leg lifts and lowers. Lift and lower and lift. As that left leg begins to move, can you maintain that squeeze, that connection of the left elbow toward the left knee? For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rotate the shoulders back to center. And now as that, let's see here, as the left leg comes up, we're going to extend and reach through the right toes. As the left leg comes down, right knee comes back to the chest. So just this teeter-totter in the body. The whole time, by the way, really focusing on that press of the lower spine into the earth, staying super connected, protecting the lower back, strengthening through the core. Flow here for 3, 2, and 1. As the right knee comes back into tabletop, left toes extend, palms down toward the earth, reaching the fingertips toward the ankles. Inhale. And exhale, palms beating to the earth. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last set. Inhale. Exhale. Release down. Right foot comes to the earth. Inhaling, fingertips come up overhead. On the exhale, tuck the chin to the chest, float up, one-legged. Start to curve through the spine, roll all the way down. Inhale. Exhale, float back up, Navasana. One more time, roll through the spine all the way down. And back up. Pause and hold here. Option to release both legs up into your boat pose. A bend in the knee, legs in tabletop is perfect. Softening the tops of the shoulders. Shoulder blades squeeze. Lower rib cage wraps around. We're taking another slow and controlled roll all the way down. And when you arrive, knees hug to the chest, sway it out side to side. Coming back to your breath here, back to your intention for your practice. Sometimes when things get hard or we feel sensations in the body, we lose that control of our breath. So get back in the driver's seat. Breath is controlled. We'll release the bottoms of the feet to the earth. Palms come next to the hips. For this first round of bridging, we'll bring the knees completely together. So as you come to center, you should feel the heels and maybe the insides of the toes connect. knees are squeezing together. So before we do anything, squeeze and connect. Feel the inner thighs warm. And notice what happens with the lower part of the spine. In this neutral position, the lowest part of the spine is probably lifted a little bit up from the earth. So let's take an inhale to reset here. Allow that space to just be there for now. And then on your exhale, press that lower spine into the earth. Hip bones will rotate up, and then pressing through the heels, start to lift the hips up, coming into that bridge. Knees are still squeezed. Maybe rolling the shoulders underneath the body a little bit. Squeezing the knees right here. We'll lower and lift first. So hips lower toward the earth. On the exhale, knees press together, glutes lift and press. Inhale to lower. Exhale, press. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold here. Keeping the knees connected, we're going to walk the feet just 3 or 4 inches out. So now the ankles are in front of the knees. Again, recommit. Lift through the hip bones, squeeze through the knees. Hold here for 8, 7, 6, 5. Squeeze the thighs, squeeze the knees. 2, and 1. We're walking forward one more time. This time as we walk the legs forward, come up to the heels, let the toes lift up off the mat. Again, reconnect the knees, reconnect the thighs, lift the hip bones, hold and squeeze for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Squeeze, 2, and 1. Slowly roll the spine back down to the earth, starting at the top, all the way down. Walk the legs back to center. We've got another round here, feet hip distance apart. So now allowing no space to come between the knees, that space, but the hips are in line with the knees, so there's still that element of control. So pretend you're holding that block or a ball between the knees. Take that inhale to reset. On the exhale, lumbar spine digs into the earth to press, and as that spine presses, lift through the heels, lift the hips up, roll through the spine. Again, maybe rolling the shoulders under the body. Lift here, grounding down through all 4 corners of the feet, feeling that stretch in the front of the body. Again, we lower and lift. Inhale to lower, exhale, press lift. And press lift. And lift. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press the hip bones back up. Feet walk away from the body a couple of inches, still grounding down through all 4 corners of the feet. Recommit. Squeeze the bum, lift the hip bones up. Hold here for 8, 7. Even though the inner part of the knees are not touching, it's like there's magnets between them. They're still pulling toward one another as the hip bones lift up. 3, 2, 1. Keeping the hips lifted. Walk the heels out. This time ground down through the heels, toes lift. Hip bones press up as the glutes squeeze to reset. Press the palms into the earth for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly allow the top of the spine to connect back to the earth first. All the way down. Hug the knees to the chest, rock it out. And we'll use this rocking motion to come up to a seated position, maybe taking a few rounds of rolling like a ball, finding big curve in the spine, tucking the chin to the chest, massaging the spine. And then when you're ready, crossing at the ankles, ground down, step back to your down dog. Ready for our next flow here. Give you all a moment to arrive, walk it out. And on your next inhale, those right toes will sweep up. Exhale, pull the knee to the nose, lift the spine, hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, reach up. This time, step all the way through, find that warrior lunge, releasing the back knee. Anjaneyasana, left hip pulls forward, remove a little quicker. On the exhale, right hip pulls back, nose toward the knee. Inhaling, float forward, curl the back toes, lift the knee, arms sweep up to your warrior lunge. On the exhale, hips down toward the earth, open the heart. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hinge, hands come down to the earth, left hand imprints, right fingertips reach up to your twist. Pressing through that back heel, cartwheel the arms up, stay in that twist here, twisting lunge. And then inhale back to your warrior. Inhale. Exhale, open up into warrior two. That front heel intersecting the arch of the back foot, long across the chest, reaching through the fingers. And exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale back to warrior two. This time lengthening the front leg, coming into reverse triangle. So feeling that stretch again from the hip bone to the fingertips, really open. Big deep breath into the rib cage. And back to warrior two. Cartwheel the arms, lift the back heel, stepping back, chaturanga or down dog. Always an option to meet in down dog. On your inhale, left toe sweep up. Exhale, round the spine, knee to nose. Hold here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, reach through the toes. Exhale, big step all the way through. Release the back knee. Inhale, sweep up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, left hip pulls back. Inhale, float forward, curl the back toes, lift all the way up to your warrior lunge. And as we exhale, sink in, open the heart, elbows come behind the body. Inhale, reach through the fingertips. Exhale, hinge forward, hands come to the earth, ground down through the right hand, left fingertips lift and twist here. Energy in the back leg, grounding down, staying in that twist, float up. And then inhale back to warrior. On your exhale, open to your warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, warrior two. Lengthening the bent leg, come into reverse triangle. Fingertips reach up and overhead, long line. Big breath into the left side of the ribcage. And then back to your warrior two. Cartwheel the arms down. Step back, chaturanga or down dog. From here, hip bones stay lifted to the sky, softening the muscles in the back of the neck, let the head hang. And the hip bones get so high that we almost have to tiptoe forward. So trying to keep the legs straight if you can, tiptoe all the way to the top of the mat, use the core. And when you arrive, bend the knees, lower the hips, have a seat back. Now let's grab those weights if you've got them. If you don't, it's no big deal. So we're gonna come back into some core work. We'll go ahead and extend the legs again. So legs are long, doesn't mean legs have to be perfectly straight. I always keep a little micro bend so that I'm able to lift more out of my lumbar spine. If you have tightness in the backside of your body and the posterior chain, that will help you. So we'll actually let's take the weights with us. So we'll come to center, pressing the weights, soften the tops of the shoulders. We'll just start with a twist side to side. So we're just rotating the rib cage around the spine and back to center. And rotate the opposite direction and back to center. Heels are grounding down into the earth for support. Toes pulling toward the face. And we'll pause here as we twist to the left. Let's open the arms. Hold here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay in that twisted position. Weights come back to heart center. Now rotate back to center. Inhale, rotate the opposite direction. Open the arms. Hold here. Hands come back to heart center. Now rotate. Adding on. Rotate to the left. Open the arms. Left weight is going to tap to the earth while the right arm lifts and back to center. And tap and lift. 2 and 1. Come back to center. Now lean back like you're reaching that left hand toward the wall behind you. Hold right here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back up, hinge back up to that long spine. Hands come back to heart center, right through the middle. Opposite direction. Open the arms. This time the right weight or hand will tap down as the left hand comes up. 7. Checking in with the spine here. If you feel like you've lost some length, lifting up. Again, taking that bend in the knee if that allows you to get the lift that you need. 2 and 1, hold it center. Now reach that right hand toward the wall behind you. Squeeze the left side of the body, hold here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Arms come back to center, rotate back to center, coming back up. Next movement, we'll start with the hands in the same position, but instead of rotating in that plane, we're going to start to come back. We'll allow some curve in the spine on this first round. So anchoring down through the heels, start to curve through the lower spine as if you're reaching the spine toward the wall behind you, coming to that C shape. You might feel the heels drag toward you a little bit. We'll pause and hold when you find that sweet spot. Allow all the tension to leave the shoulders. Let's open and close the arms here. With or without weights. Super supported, all of that work in the front of the core, so strong. Trying to maintain that stillness in the torso. We'll hold the arms out wide here, and it's a little lift, and lift, and lift. If you're starting to feel this in your quads, our legs really, really want to help us when things get hard in the core. So if you're feeling it in the quads, maybe consider lifting up a little bit more, trying to keep that work in the core. Lift for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big circle behind you, and then sweep the arms forward, find that forward fold. Take a moment here. Bring the weights with you. Start to stack the spine one vertebra at a time, allowing that curve as you stack, and then coming back to that nice long spine. Second set, we'll keep the long spine this time. So it's going to be a hinge at the hips. Nothing changes with the shape of the spine. We'll bring the arms to goal posts. So regardless of if you have weights, elbows are up toward the shoulders, and think about squeezing those elbows toward one another. We're not splayed out, but we're squeezed in and super connected. So starting that hinge back, again, toes pulling toward the face. We'll pause and hold here for a moment. Really envisioning everything wrapping in, as if you've got that corset around the rib cage, and I'm coming around to each of you and tightening the laces on that corset. Bringing some upper body action in here if you like, just a lift up and up and up. Press the weights up for 4. Raise the roof. 2 and 1. Big reach up and overhead. Hinge back forward. And again, curl over the legs. You can release those weights for just a moment. We'll just take a couple of roll-ups. So go ahead and stack back up. Arms are going to wrap across the body. So typically in a roll-up, we use our arms, and the arms help us a little bit along with gravity. So trying a different challenge today, wrap the fingertips around the hip bones. Now open the shoulders, squeeze the back, soften the tops of the shoulders. And we're going to allow that curve to come into the spine. So reach, tuck the belly. We're going to come all the way down. Take an inhale at the bottom. On the exhale, tuck the chin to the chest, round down through the heels. Try to keep the heels connected as you come all the way back up. Inhale here. Exhale, round through the spine, all the way down. Inhale. As you exhale, press the fingertips into the hip bones, all the way up. Definitely a little more challenging. One more time. Inhale to stack and lengthen. Exhale, round the spine, roll back. Inhale. And last time, exhale, press through the heels, come all the way up. Release your grip here. Seated forward fold. So taking a moment. When you're ready, legs sweep underneath the body. Grab those weights one more time. And we'll come up to all fours. So we'll start with just a little bit of thigh dancing. So hips are about hip distance apart. So start to sit back. So the spine stays long. We definitely have that hinge forward as the bum comes toward the heels. The bum is never going to land on the heels. We find this sweet spot and we hover. We're going to pulse right here. So tops of the feet, toes are pressing into the earth. Probably feels like nothing right now. Just keep pulsing. And whether you've got weights or not, let's just add some tricep kickbacks. So in the side view here, hopefully you can see a little bit better. My hips are close to the heels, but they never come all the way down. Keep pulsing through the hips. Let's lengthen the arms here. Hold, straight arm tricep lift. So as the hips lift up, pulling those weights up. Squeezing the shoulder blades together as if you're trying to bring the weights toward one another behind the body. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sweep back up to center. We're going to, again, start to lower the hips. Come down. Actually, this time, let's bring the knees wider. So more like a triangle-shaped toe. Big toes are connected. Start to sink the hips back. And we'll just make those windshield wiper movements with the arms. So just hold the hips, static hold here, hips right above the heels. And now maybe add that lower lift. Yes. Moving into our final flow here in a moment. So really make it strong here. Push down through the tops of the feet as you lift up. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come to center. You can put the weights to the side. We will meet in a plank position. Always an option to release the knees. We're going to hold. We're going to play with a couple of different positions here before we flow. So just holding in traditional plank. Elbows are stacked right above the wrists, heels pressing toward the back of the room. Feeling again that corset sensation in the belly, squeezing the glutes, everything is active. And that long line reaching through the crown of the head. Hold here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Walk the hands forward 3 or 4 inches. So the wrists are no longer in line with the shoulders. Still pressing back through the heels, spine is still long. We are not lifting the hips up or piking. Stay super strong, nice flat back. Now soften the tops of the shoulders, squeeze the shoulder blades down the back. Pressing the palms, all 10 finger pads into the earth, pressing the heels back. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower the forearms down to the earth, coming to your forearm plank. Lift the heart up through the shoulder blades. Again, hold here. Pressing through the heels. Check in with your alignment and close the eyes and focus the energy. Squeezing the thighs, pressing through the heels. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Interlace the hands, lift the hips up into pike, walk the toes toward the elbows coming into dolphin. So releasing the crown of the head to the earth, the muscles in the back of the neck become soft. Hip bones lift up, stacking the shoulders above the elbows. Hold here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Walk the toes back. Hands come up to the shoulders. Lift the hips, down dog. Here we are, yogis, our last flow for the day. On your next inhale, right toe sweep up. Exhale, float forward, right knee to left elbow. Squeeze and lift the spine for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, big step all the way through. Release the back knee, lift the heart, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, fingertips float down, right hip pulls back. Inhale to float forward, curl the toes, lift the back knee, sweeping up to your warrior lunge. And exhale, open the heart. Inhale, fingertips shoot up. Exhaling, hinge forward. Left hand grounds down, right fingertips reach up in that twist. Ground down through the feet, rotate and windmill up, staying in that twist, reach here. And then sweeping back to center, warrior lunge. And opening up to your warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Lengthening the front leg, reverse triangle, big reach up and overhead. And back to warrior two. Adding on one last time, lift the back heel, sweep the arm back up to your warrior lunge. We'll try a little balance posture here. Sweep the arms, left arm comes underneath the right, coming into eagle or Garudasana arms. And then from here, ground down through the right foot, start to hinge forward, and then maybe bringing that left knee up to the chest. When you're ready, soften the standing leg, wrapping the left leg on top of the right, squeeze the thighs, spine slides down that wall, coming into eagle. Lifting the elbows toward the shoulders, pressing the forearms away from the body for 3, 2, and 1. Unwrap the legs. Take that big step back to your lunge. Unwind the arms, ground down through the hands, step back, down dog. Last side, inhaling, left toe sweep up. Exhale, cross the body, left knee to right elbow. Find that hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale to reach. Exhale, big step through. Back knee drops, lift Anjaneyasana. Exhale to float forward. Left hip pulls back. Inhale, float forward, curl the toes, lift the knee, sweep up, warrior lunge. Exhale, open the heart. Inhale to lift. Exhale to hinge forward, right hand plants, left fingertips sweep up. Grounding down through the feet, cartwheel the arms back up, twisted lunge. And then sweeping forward, warrior lunge. Exhale to your warrior two. And inhale, reverse. Exhale, warrior two. Lengthen the bent leg, reverse triangle, big side body stretch. And bend back into the leg, warrior two. Lift the back heel, coming back to your warrior lunge. This time, sweeping the right arm underneath the left, finding your eagle arms. When you're ready, take your time, establish your balance, hinge forward, ground down through the left foot, and then slowly start to sweep the right knee up, find tabletop first. And then softening the standing leg, wrapping the right leg over the left, thighs squeeze. Noting imbalances from one side of the body to the other as I waver and sway. Is that right? Jump right back in. Lift the elbows up. Forearms pressing away from you. And then unwinding the leg. Big step back. And this time as we come down, let's walk that left foot out, releasing the back knee coming into lizard. So just swaying side to side here. Maybe using that left hand to open up. Also an option to come down to the elbows, coming down to the earth, or maybe a block. And we'll find, again, a place of stillness here where we can just sink into that breath. Just a couple of good, deep inhales and exhales. Letting the muscles in the back of the neck become soft. As our bodies start to slow down, finding some softness in the breath, inviting some softness into the body. One more breath here. Walking the hands back up. Let's heel toe that left foot out, heel in, toe out. Curl the toes, lift the back knee. We'll take a big step forward into our Malasana squat. So bringing the feet as wide as you need to so that you can have the balls of the feet and the heels on the earth. And again, for many of us, Sometimes that's stepping all the way outside the edges of the mat. Lifting the heart up and through, press through the palms. And as you start to hinge forward and the hands find the earth, take that big step back with the left foot, releasing the knee, coming into your lizard on the other side of the body. Again, allowing yourself some grace and some space to sway side to side. And then when your body says it's ready, landing with the elbows on the block or the earth. And just allowing yourself to soften into that place of stillness. Is there anything left in your body, your mind, your heart that you would really like to release and make room for something else? As the back of the neck becomes soft. 2 more breaths to release. And start to walk the hands up. Just sweep that right leg behind the body. We're going to end our practice in a seated position. So if it's comfortable for you to sit cross-legged, that's fine. If you'd like to be on your knees with a block or a pillow underneath your bum, or if none of those options are speaking to you and you would rather lay down for your Shavasana, it's all good. But we're headed there. So find that space. Noticing what you're feeling in the body. Where can we soften and sink in just a little more? If you're seated, maybe opening the palms to the sky. And as you feel the breath move through the body here, that inhale, bringing in that new energy, making us sit just a little taller. On that exhale, find that release as the shoulders soften and drop in. Feel the tailbone sink toward the earth. The eyes closed, the muscles in the face are soft. Release the jaw. Pivotal events in our lives can provide us with a way to define ourselves as unique beings. But we need to put aside judgments that might otherwise prevent us from gaining insight into those distinct ways of interpreting our world. Try to internalize our feelings without categorizing, evaluating, or judging them. When we feel unsure of the legitimacy of our reactions, remember that our cultural, spiritual, and familial differences can cause two people to interpret a single event in very different ways. Examining our responses outside of the context provided by others can show us that our emotional complexity is something to be valued. For that has made each of us who we are today. That unique beauty, light, and grace in each of you is also within me. Let us honor one another. Namaste. Feel free to stay in your Shavasana as long as you like. Just giving yourself some time and space.